Hello, welcome to the 7th episode about the strategy game Warring Factions. So this time I'm just going to check out my research projects that are finished. You see I got a message saying I can join the faction, the main empire in our faction. So that'll be coming in the next episode. I recorded this last night but didn't do the audio, so excuse the differences. So the surveyor hull's fine. They're actually good, somewhat good compared to what I remember they can be like, because the less scientists you use, actually the better the projects can be. Because the more scientists you add, it also adds to the resource cost and the price, even though it increases the effectiveness. But when you only have a few workers, that doesn't mean anything. When it's up to 1,000% effectiveness, that's when it matters, stuff like that. So I've got enough here now to make a new surveyor, and it looks to be cheap enough. So I'm going to go through the process of doing that. And I don't think, after I checked this morning too, there aren't any new scientists. Now I'll just let Barker know I've seen his message. If you're just having problems and you're seeing, I told him what I was having a problem with, that I was applying, but I wasn't getting a response. Quite simply was just told, oh yeah, that guy's not online much. So, it's good. I think I counted the other day, it's been about, actually 8 years that I've been playing this game, not 10. Here, doing a scan with my sensor net. There's an enemy probe in our space. It's 5 million kilometers out from one of my probes. And you can do one of those scans every 60 minutes, you can see, which is every hour, which is contrary to other pages in the game because that's real time, because it's an update. And up the top here, this is a part of a script. It isn't in the core game, and that means I can create that surveyor grid I showed you in the other episode, but automatically get the coordinates, and by copying the fleet number I can automatically target the space with a button, short hyperlink. That's what the script does. I'm sorry, I don't remember who made it, but you will find out. I'll find it out. It's been a while since I've logged on, tried to remember what's happening. The growth is okay. It could be up about 200 per tick, but my size would be growing at more like 15 instead of 100 of 17. But the density is still increasing, which means everything's great in the stabilising in the economy, which will reach a maximum of up to about 12 if I didn't remove any people from the colony. I left some notes to describe what I'm going to actually go through in this video, because I was not planning on doing the audio last night. And I got this is how I do most of my thinking in the game, but I'm just type out the numbers, but I'm going to add a bit more info so that you can read it and see what's happening. So the other time when I calculated how many fighters I would need to conquer that colony, it was because of the amount of damage done by that many fighters. So if I can then calculate how much I could, an upgraded fighter, how much damage an upgraded fighter would do, I can then divide that total damage by the new fighter damage and get how many fighters I need if they were to do that amount of damage, which is pretty simple maths. But what maths is about is applying the principles to logic patterns, not necessarily doing crazy sums, because that's just exercise, it's not actual maths, unless you do maths for a job, which I don't think many people would be entertained with, like admin. I couldn't stand that. But anyway, now mauling up your colonies, you can do it at usually when you have 200 million credits, or which you would generally have 200,000 population at that point in time. But there's a trade-off, and as I said, I was going to get the best science. This is the point in my tutorial where I'm diversifying from that to grow, have a better chance at growing for the technology tree. Whereas if I was playing it just to play a good game and try and win, I would be going for population. So I'm actually still going for technology now to show you, like as if I was playing this from the start of the round. So yeah, when people become wealthy, the population growth declines. So that means that because of the lack of growth, you will miss out on 50 to 500 million credits, because you're actually spending that money on malls, and then it decreases your population growth, which means you actually miss out on money. Having a shitty population colony is great for growing population. It's quite hard, but that's just the twist in the logic. So if you maul up, you'll get extra industrial development, technological development. It's the index of the development, or indice, I think it's another word. So yeah, you get those credits, but they're spent on malls. This is what I'm writing out here. And the advantage of mauling up later, at when you have 400,000 population, instead of when you reach enough credits to maul up your population, then you'll end up with a 1/4 advantage in population over the people who mauled up as soon as they could, even though it seems like it would be a good idea, but as I said, it decreases the population growth. Of course, if the mauling up stage, which I'm going to do now at 250,000 people when I get this tech, I'll show you the process from that point on, and which isn't in the general interest of in winning the game. But it's hard logic to quite describe. But yeah, so I'm going to maul up. In other words, I'm not going to wait till I have 400,000 population. So I'll have less people, but I will have better technology. And of course, others, yeah, this is how you divide and conquer without fake news. This is just pure math conquering. But there of course, without, what war game would it be without some fake news? We do have a forum for it, and I'll show you later. This is the new surveyor. It's got double the range, and it's quite a lot quicker than the other one. It's twice the price. But the scan range is going to be about the maximum deployment. If the other one had 11 scan and it saw 13 million kilometers, then the next one will see about nearly 30. Something like that. And that's far enough. And then I will use that script to deploy them in the next video. And show you where to find it. Now, this is how I'm calculating how much it actually costs to build these. So I just randomly put the slider at 74. I should have actually put it at like 70, because it would have cost me 300,000 credits less. Anyway, I show you the maths behind it with that calculator and the notepad. "74 hours time left" is 72 minutes in real life, not in the game. And if I was to show you, divide 74 by 24, you'll see how many game days that would take. It's 3 game days, which should be at a sum under that decimal zero, because that automatically jumps it up to 4 because of the amount of ticks, which is a day. So that I know that that's going to cost, because the wage total is added 300,000 credits, it's going to cost me 1.2 million credits on top of the price of the craft to build them. It's good for this, show you to this fundamental thing for when you're making huge fleets, and you want to maximize, you want to figure out exactly how many people you can throw into them. So here, comparing this probably for the last time now, because of the amount of people here, they'll probably stabilize here at this point, but my density will keep increasing. Slow. It won't go as fast as I was saying before. Because the land growth increase because of the tech bonus, the bonus to technology is what do you call? Yeah, it because it increases the size of the land and decreases the population growth, the density decreases. And here, if you're looking at this from YouTube, this is the forum where I've put all these up to be watched for the newer players. So here's the fake news forum, which is what I call it, Mafia. Old Tucson. Yes, sorry that round Tucson that I made you rage quit because I destroyed all your tech colonies in a coup. I was just playing along with those other dudes. We're like, yeah, we're gonna wreck everyone. Just to rock the boat, just to rock the boat. So sorry you had to deal with that, but I'm sure you learned something from it as well. Yeah, and then the bad zone's actually scrambled if you've got a new account. We have some banter, and I like making art and memes and stuff, which I kind of don't show on this website, because it's kind of like a joke thing. Not everyone will get it. Anyway, that's that for this episode. Have a good one.